Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Going live, and we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is VIPKid Teacher Casey channel, and I'm here with Melissa. Hey, Melissa.
Hey, hello everyone.
Now we've had an interview before, but it was a long time ago, and I was like really nervous to talk to this, mentor who knows all about VIPKid and everything. So it's kind of fun to have you on here again when I know you now.
Know me a little better, yeah.
Right? I'm trying to minimize. Normally I can minimize this screen. All right, so that I can see the chat as well. All right, so really quick, I kind of want to make this a straight to the point. So if somebody clicks on this video and they want to know about getting hired with VIPKid in 2021, what kind of things do they need to know?
So it can go really quickly. I just helped someone get hired, and she started the application and was teaching her first class within 8 days. So the process can go really quickly. I know for a while it was slowed down a little bit, especially when it got to that background check part. But now that's kind of all worked out, so it can go very quickly. So I've been trying to get the word out, about that. It's kind of picked up, and it's very specific. I feel like over my 3.5 years here, the hiring process and sort of the things they're looking for have gotten more and more specific. So it really does pay to have some kind of mentor, some kind of refer for the process.
And I really want to be a good refer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just don't know like what has changed in the 2 years ago, a year and a half that I started with VIPKid. So I really wanted to dive in and look at it so I can be a better mentor for friends. So I will say I did have a friend that did not pass. So I'm on a mission to help her pass. So, and really quick, let's say hey to Kim. Hey, Kim, thanks for coming.
Hi, Kim. Yay.
Not sure how many people will be able to join us today because this is not my normal live time. And I didn't post it in places. So who knows? We're just so thankful that some of you can make it today. So thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I got off track again. But Kim said your background, our backgrounds are cute. I love all your. How long are you going to keep New Year's up for? That's been a big discussion in the Facebook groups.
So I'll probably take mine down in March, like right February 28th, March 1st, and just put up take down like Valentine's and New Year's and put up St. Patrick's March.
Right. Good. Yeah. Okay, so let's chat.
Okay.
Hiring process. I need to
yeah. So I think just let's cover some big things now. They're not breaking news, but just in case you haven't referred in over a year, there is no longer intermediate mocks. So you cannot do intermediate. You can only do that lower level mock and enter with level 2 and 3. Also, there are no live interviews anymore. You have 2 options. That's the smart demo on your phone or the recorded demo on the portal. Now, the difference with those 2 really is time, like the time you're recording yourself teaching. So I always tell people, try to do the smart demo, and there are 2 reasons. The first is it's shorter. It's 1 slide. Okay. You go in, you read some things, you take a 5-question multiple choice quiz. That's pretty easy. And actually what I do is I get on a Zoom call with my refers, and I say, bring your phone. Call me on Zoom on your computer, bring your phone, and they read through the stuff. We take the quiz together because the quiz does affect whether or not you pass into the mock process. So I help them answer those 5 questions because some of them are tricky. It's like, what's the objective of the slide? But it's a grammar slide. And so some people will choose grammar when that's really considered the section. And the objective is actually the verb have or whatever is on that slide. So it's kind of tricky. Like if you're not a VIPKid teacher, and you know, that would be hard for you to maybe get correct. So But then some of them are easy. Like you listen to an audio and it's like, is that a good speed to teach a 6-year-old English? And you're like, no. So some of them are super easy. Some of them aren't. But I help with that. And then they watch the video, the example of teaching the one slide. I used to say it's going to be some kind of verb. But actually last week, the friend that I just helped get hired got this and that.
Oh.
So it is no longer, I'm not saying it's a verb anymore. You apparently can get this or that. But it's a short, like you teach a word, they want to see TPR, they want to see you teach the sentences, they want a correction. And of course, you're teaching to nobody on your phone. So, it's just good to have somebody there to walk them through. They want something behind you, not super extra like this, but just something. So you look like you're in a dedicated classroom space. And then I always recommend giving a reward at the end. So that's a lot to cram into 60, 70 seconds of teaching on that one slide. But in home office, when that recorded demo comes, it's literally a checklist. Do they use TPR? Do they make a correction? Do they have a prop? Did they give a reward? Like it's a checklist. And if you do those 5 things, then you're passed through.
Right.
And the other reason I recommend it is if you do not pass the SMART demo, they give you another chance. You have to do that recorded demo. But if you just begin with the recorded demo and you don't pass, sometimes that's it. You don't get a second chance. So I feel like with the SMART demo, we get another chance if we need it. My applicants that haven't passed the SMART demo have always been given a chance for the recorded. And of course, the recorded is longer. You're teaching more slides and you're teaching for 5 minutes. And they're still looking for the same thing, right? A prop on each slide, a reward, a correction, TPR, some kind of background. But of course, there's more time to make mistakes, right? Because it's 5 minutes and 5 slides. So those are the 2 options you have now. And then you are passed through to the mock process stage. And I will say that I'm just going to put a little plug in here, but online coaching is worth it. Right above where your applicant will schedule their mock class, they can schedule for mock class prep course. Okay, so that's in the and we've been around a while now. I feel like it's still new, but now we're actually in the portal and you can actually click and enter the Zoom meeting from the teacher portal. And we actually go through step by step what that mock class mentor is looking for. And we tell you, they want this on every slide and you need to do this. And this is important. We show you examples of props they're looking for. We go over how to give rewards and what rewards would be good, as well as reward technique. They didn't have this 3.5 years ago. There's no training from the company 3.5 years ago. So I feel like this is a great improvement. Like before they're put into that mock process, we're going to walk you through, and the presentation that the coaches present, it comes directly from that rubric that the mock class mentors are using. These 2 teams work very closely together to help the teachers. And so there's a great pass rate of applicants that come to the coaching and then go to the mock class. I will say our value is in the practice. So like in the first half of the session, we kind of go over and have group practice and discussion as we go over everything that mentor will be looking for. And then we have a break, and we come back from the break. We take on the role of that mock class mentor student, right? And we let everybody in the session actually teach us on slides that are part of that mock process slide. And so it gives you some real life experience.
I'm smiling because I remember how nervous I was. I'm like, I can teach in front of kids, but I can't teach in front of this group. And they're like, yeah, just unmute and let's go. And I'm like, oh. I was so nervous. So, hey, James, thanks for joining us. Yay. Kim said, oh, wow, I haven't referred anyone in forever. So interesting. I wish I could have had that training. It sounds so helpful. Yeah, I agree. I did want to say, when Melissa was talking about the background, when I started, I used posters that I had up in my kindergarten classroom, and they fit like two side by side. And that was like the whole camera. So it was super easy. Now I had, they're a little bit more pricey just because they were supposed to be for, a classroom, but you can go to the dollar store and get some great like alphabet or educational ones super cheap and put them behind you. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I recommend the Dollar Tree all the time. I feel like they should sponsor me, but I send people there all the time. I'm like, you can go to the Dollar Tree for $10 and literally get everything you need to go all the way through the process, do the interview and the mock and everything that you need for $10. I always recommend it. I am not a big fan of spending money before you're making any money.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, but I had children, so I could go steal stuff from my children. And
Yeah.
I was homeschooling them, had been a teacher and was homeschooling my own children. So I had a lot of things available, but not everybody does. So
Right.
definitely they're two to a pack at the Dollar Tree. I think you said that. And again, if you're doing the smart demo, like I just mentioned, you're doing it on your phone. So that camera space is small. Like having something educational behind you is not
Right.
going to be a big deal. Yeah.
Right.
And so I have these, and I actually coach with these. These are from
Oh.
Dollar Tree. Look, our puppy got a hold of my baseball, but on the other side, like on one side, puppy chewed it up. On the other side, it looks perfect. Yeah. So I use these to coach because the mock lessons are my friends and I. So it's, he plays with a ball, she plays with a ball. I have my handy dandy Dollar Tree flashcards. Oh, they're so old, but they work. And then things like printed out and taped on popsicle sticks work. They don't need a lot. If you live close, I actually try to send things to my referrer. The people that I'm actually referring, I will actually try to send them, print out some stuff on cardstock or flashcards or anything I can to help them as they get started with the process. But definitely not expensive. Don't go spend a lot of money.
Right. So this is kind of a sidebar, but it's on the same line. Did you help your recent referral? Because so I just had somebody go through it probably almost 8 or 9 months ago now, and she never taught a first class. I don't even know if she opens anymore. Did you help her find ways to get started? Did you
Yeah, so I told her, like I said, she got hired within 8 days. She was opening her classes. And so the way that it worked, like she started on Friday night, she did the smart demo, Friday night, like 5 p.m. Eastern time. By 1 a.m., we had the You Passed Your Smart demo. So I was up teaching classes Saturday morning, and she has a little girl, a baby. So she was up and she texted me, and we got the coaching set up for later that day. So she was able to come Saturday. So they have changed that. If you have had referrers that haven't been able to get into coaching sessions, we have changed it. So you can actually register same day now. So she was able to register for Saturday. She came to the Saturday session. We practiced on Sunday. She did her mock on Monday. She was passed by Tuesday. She got everything in on Wednesday. And then by Friday night, background check was back. Video was up, all that was done. And so on Sunday, she was able to open for the frenzy, and she got 16 bookings then. And the only thing I told her was open everything you can. I said, now be reasonable. I'm not telling you to open everything because she has a job and she has a baby. But I said, open everything you can, possibly teach, check the app often. And I would actually check the computer too. And so she did. And she's taught a few classes. 2 of those are free books. She's already got a 5 Apple review. So she's doing great. They do feature you, which really just means you come up first in the search, right? If parents are searching for a teacher that teaches level 3 and has classes open at a certain time, during those first 2 weeks or so, the algorithm is just going to put you as one of the first teachers they see. And so generally, you're going to have maybe a few more bookings those first few weeks. So I told her, teach your heart out. I said, put everything you've got into it. Let me know if you need help. I said, you have a printer, I will send you things to print, but for props and rewards, but you just want to do your best. And so they rebook, because getting those rebookings is what keeps the momentum going after your first couple of weeks.
Definitely. And that 5 Apple will help her too.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Let's see. James said his demo was 3 8.5 by 11 printouts taped to an old chalkboard.
Yep.
His background was, I'm trying to find those balls that you two have. Can't find them here.
At the Dollar Tree?
I think I got mine at Walmart in the party favor section.
Oh, that's
so mine came with like a little soccer ball, basketball, baseball, and football, and I use them pretty much every day in my classes. They just sit here on my desk. So
yeah,
I use them for big and small.
This was like a 3-pack from the toy section at Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
But I'm in Georgia, and so I, there's other stores like Five Below has great props. If you live in a place with that, Dollar General will have something. Also, last month, I somebody found something in the dog toy section. She found some balls. They were dog toys, but they were, balls that look like this. But don't focus so much on them being an actual soccer ball or an actual basketball. I mean, it's great if you can find that, but just a generic prop will work as well. I don't get hung up, or don't let your referrals get hung up on getting the perfect props. Okay. That's not what's important. What's important is the technique. The mock mentor isn't really going to care what your reward is. They're going to care that you're extending and you're getting that repetition, and you're using the reward technique to get participation from the student, right? The mock student. And they really aren't going to care what your props are either. They're just going to care that you're using them at appropriate places to help teach the student, and you're using TPR at appropriate places for the teaching techniques. And to that end, like coming out of this pandemic, people have come to mock prep coaching and mock classes and use things like oranges and apples as balls, right? You hold it the right way, it's circular, it looks like a ball. And they couldn't find a kite, they didn't have a printer. We were like, hey, put some tissue on top of a pen or draw it. You don't have a whiteboard, that's okay. Find a picture frame and put a sheet of paper in it. A glass picture frame will work exactly the same.
A document protector over a white sheet of paper is a great dry erase board.
Yes, a document protector.
This was my first reward. When I went through my mock classes, I gave them spiders. I was like, you got a spider. Ah! And the lady was like, that was hilarious.
Because interaction is key, right? And so if you think about these little kids we're teaching in level 2, they don't care that it's just a plastic ring. They care that teacher's being silly and they get to scream with you. So that was awesome.
Let's see. Oh, I asked James if it was expensive to ship it to him. He said he's making a list for his daughter. So you can party favor. It was in the party favors for me. Dog toys.
That's good. I'm going to add that to my list. Party favors at Walmart. That's a great place.
Oh yeah, a lot of my props and rewards are party favors. I just go ahead and grab a little pack of them because they usually come in 5 or 6 things. So it's just easy. Candy, hey Candy. She said you can use education TPR for ball. Teacher can, good idea. Educational TPR. Yeah, we knew.
So you do. And that's why I'm like, don't get hung up on the props. Yes, you want props, but it is really important that you are showing, what TPR is and the difference between educational TPR and instructional TPR. You want to use them both, and you want to get the student responding, because as we have all learned, TPR is total physical response from the student. So we want that student moving as we're teaching new words, and we want that student responding by following our instructions.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm actually taking notes. So don't mind me writing, guys. I have I have questions that get answered.
Yeah.
Candy said she uses gold party favorite trophies for rewards. Yeah, I know Rebecca does too, and she does like the force perspective where it looks really big, and then she's like, "Oh, it's tiny" with her little
Oh,
trophies.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I have trophies, and again, the big thing is just to get that interaction. So if you make it fun, I mean, if it's just a sticker,
Yeah,
but you make it fun, then you have rewarded that student, right? Because what they
right.
really want is the praise. And so if you have, those little bitty sheets of colors, stars,
Mhm.
um, like you could use that, and it's just
Right.
a sticker star, but it's all in the technique and the delivery, right?
Right.
Oh, good job, you get a red star, and hold it up real close, and then maybe stick it on your face, and the student repeats red star and kind of giggles because you're putting stickers on your face. And then
Right.
the next time it's just a green star, but it's the same thing. This meets the objective, and those are super cheap, right? You can go buy those for a quarter.
Are you teaching colors and you're like, red star and it's green, and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
No, be a little silly. Exactly.
Yeah. So all of these that you see are actually from my friend Paige from Oh My Stars.
Yeah.
I have a student that I have a couple
Look
times
at all
a
of
week,
them.
and so he just loves um he loves something called Gravity Falls, and I just messaged her and asked her to make me some stars. They've got magnets on them. Super easy. So those I paid money for, but now that I've been teaching for a while, like she said, don't spend money
Don't
before you
spend
make it.
money
I
before you're
made some
making
money,
it. Right.
so I bought these. Kim said for the last month, my kids have loved Hongbao for their reward. So, yeah, for those that don't know, Hongbao are those red envelopes that the Chinese students get for gifts from their family. And I have mine right here. So I was just going to get them. So, because I'm still using them probably until like the 26th or so. I have these from Good Fortune. I also use mine from Amanda Panda Teacher. I know I'm kind of just, I didn't mean to shout out teachers, but they're just so awesome that I just can't help it. So this one had money. Now, they are saying they don't want you to use money in the classroom anymore, but the red envelopes are fine, is what I read last. But they don't want you using the money in the classroom anymore.
Yes, yes. That's new. That was new a couple days ago, right?
Just a couple of days.
So I feel like that morning I used those the Good Fortune box red envelopes with the money, the Chinese money
Right.
that they sent with it. And then I got through teaching, and like 30 minutes later read the update, and I was like, oh,
Right.
great.
So they look like this.
Yeah.
And so you have all of the money in the envelopes. And the students love it. They're trying
They
to see
do.
how much money is in there,
And you can still use them. And I think it's
Uh,
important to use them,
yeah.
just to show the culture that you understand the culture and their holiday, but just put some dino dollars in them or some
Yeah. That's what Kim was
something.
saying. She has Ox money, and Candy said you can use American money. Right.
Yeah.
They just don't want you using their the
Chinese money.
Chinese money, the
Yeah,
yuan. So
exactly.
yeah, super fun. But I did the same thing. I was like, ooh, I used the Chinese money just this morning when that came out. So guess I'm gonna have to retire my Chinese money. Melissa, it happened to me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Rebecca, thanks for coming. So we are talking about the hiring process in 2021. If you guys have any questions,
Yeah.
let us know. I wonder why they said no to Chinese money. This is how I understand it, but this could be hearsay, is that China is really starting to transition out of paper money. So they want the kids to get used to digital, I guess is the best way to explain it. They use their phones and things a lot for money. Even I've heard like you can even transfer money to someone that's on the street that needs extra money through however they
Yeah,
transfer it.
through WeChat or Weibo. Yeah,
Yeah.
and even this year, and it was available last year and previous years, but this year giving digital red envelopes, of course, really picked up
Oh
with
yeah.
COVID and people not traveling. They would send these digital red envelopes, and you could send them to a group or through a group or individually. So I do think they are really picking up on that. Digital world, right?
Right. James said he used Vietnamese money. Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
oh, there we go. Oh, I was just, you rock. I was just gonna say, let's go over really what we need, and see,
Yeah.
she's always ready to go.
Okay, so let's see. These are just the steps that you'll take. So again, you're going to do a demo lesson after you fill out the application.
Mhm.
And we didn't really talk a lot about the application. And so I'm going to kind of go back here and add that in. You want to fill out that application, and they are really looking for 2 years of experience. Now, it's still, any kind of experience,
Right.
homeschooling, babysitting, coaching, whatever, Sunday school. But it used to be 1 year, but now it's 2 years. And
Okay.
those are really graded by computer or checked by computer. So it's really easy to just automatically get put out of the process if you don't put 2 years of experience. And of course, have that accredited college degree. They are looking for a bachelor's degree. It is still in anything, but a 4-year degree.
Good.
And then the demo lesson, again, is only smart or recorded. I recommend the smart because I feel like it's easier. If you are referring, I would do it with your applicant. If you can meet them in person or either over the computer, I highly recommend doing it in person because the smart demo quiz does affect pass rate there. And they are looking for a lot of things. And when you're working with somebody new, cupping your ear isn't going to come easy. And they need to do it every time. So that's TPR that's going to be really important. The prop is going to be important. The correction is going to be very important. And I always have them give a reward at the end. And then once you're passed through that, you want to go to that coaching that we talked about, and then you can schedule your mock class. Now, for these steps, mock prep coaching and mock class, I do just want to throw in there, you can do both of them more than once. You can attend mock prep coaching more than once. So if you go to 1 hour and 45-minute long session and you're like, oh my gosh, that was a lot of information, and I got to practice an introduce slide, but I want to practice the apply slide or something,
Right.
you can register and you can go again. So you can attend more than once. We recommend, not more than 2 times before attempting your first mock. So then you actually have some valuable individual feedback if you do want to come back a third time. And then, of course, those mock classes, you can take more than one. It's never guaranteed, but as long as you are improving, as long as there is improvement between each mock class, you're taking that feedback and implementing the techniques, you should be invited. It's not unlimited. Nobody's going to get 20 mocks, right? But it's not a one and done thing either. And then you upload that profile while you're having that background check done. Again, don't be too perfectionist here. Like I told my most recent referrer, get something up so you can open classes on Sunday. But you can change that as much as you would like, as far as like updating the video and pictures. Then you sign the contract and open those slots.
But at the same time, you are featured for those 2 weeks. So
For
you
2
do
weeks.
want something decent up there. So yeah, you want to get something up there. You don't want to wait, but you definitely want it to be not like high.
Yeah.
Not everybody is
Smile.
upbeat and bubbly, and that is okay, but you don't want to be totally monotone either.
Yeah. And, there are videos out there with lots of special effects and music and whatnot, but it has not been proven that has any effect on parents' decision. They're really listening to your voice, your speaking speed, and your teaching style. So focus on those things and show props that you will use. Show how you will truly teach in class. That is a number one parent complaint. Somebody gets a video made for them that's kind of cropped and choppy, and they are teaching in the video the way they think they should to get students, but then when they actually get students in that class, they don't teach that way. So the parents are kind of like, hey, wait a minute, she's not silly, or she's not over the top, or she's not wearing a funny hat or whatever. And so be yourself, be the way that you're actually going to teach in the class.
Excellent. Good. Let's see. I saw Rebecca had a question. How many mock classes does it take to pass? It used to be more than one. Um, yeah, I
So
passed.
the average is 2 to 3, but that does not mean you can't pass on your first one. And like my most recent applicant did pass her first mock, so you absolutely can. Of course, the chances of that go up if you come to mock prep coaching and you have a great idea of what they're looking for, what that rubric is specifically set up to grade, so to speak. But you can pass on the first one, but we do still say the average is 2 to 3.
Excellent. Let's see. It took me a while to get used to cupping my ear.
Yeah.
That was from James. One thing I did was make a script. I watched the mock mentors on YouTube and wrote down everything they said and did. I did the same thing and I just kind of tweaked it to fit my personality, but I definitely wrote my script out too, Candy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She said it really helped. James said I forgot to add that Vietnamese money has different colors like Chinese money. Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Candy said it's
That's
called
a great extension.
catfished.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
kind
don't
of
want to
is.
say that, but I think that's the technical term there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Is
Yeah.
there anything else that we need to talk about for getting hired in 2021?
So, you can still get $100 for each referral once they teach their first class. But you do want them to put their name or put your name in their account before they sign their contract. They can't change it after they sign their contract, but they actually can go in and add it and change it and see who their referral is in their mock portal right now.
Right.
Or as they are going through that, they're able to add it themselves. They took away the quarterly bonuses or whatever for referring, but it's still $100, and it's worth it, I think, at this point. To help someone get in with this groundbreaking, I still think it's groundbreaking, I've been here 3.5 years, but this groundbreaking work from home opportunity.
Right.
And then it is $7. Everyone is pretty much getting offered $7 base pay now, with that incentive chart based on the tier. So they'll start at tier 1, $7 base pay. Now I haven't heard anything official from home office, but just talking with other teachers and applicants that are coming through, it seems it doesn't matter what experience or education is. It's going to be $7. And
so she's saying $7 per class, which is we have 25-minute classes, so about 30 minutes of your time. So it's about $14 an hour.
About $14 an hour, yeah. But it is going to be a little more because you'll get at least 80 cents incentive added onto that. So, yeah.
For doing your job, for showing up on time.
Yeah, in home, in your pajamas. Like, I'm still wearing my pajama pants here, folks, and I just taught classes. So,
me too.
I haven't found anything better. And even, looking around at other companies, I still think, it's $7 instead of maybe $7.50 that it was last year, but it's still a good gig.
So Melissa, I need to get your referral link from you too, because I don't have that. I have your YouTube, but I don't have your referral link. I will put Melissa's referral link below and mine. And Melissa has a Facebook group.
Oh yes, VIPKid friends. So we would love to have you. We take people who are in the application process, so don't feel like it's just for hired teachers. Now we do have a lot of fun things like giveaways and of course support always there for hired teachers, but if you are in the process, we'd love to have you. Here we go. VIPKid friends on Facebook. So join us there. And it's a good group. We are supportive. We like to answer questions. We're not going to tell you things like use the search feature. We're going to answer your question because you typed it in there because you had the question, right?
Right. And I have a VIPKid collaboration station on Facebook. It's a smaller group, but again, if somebody has a question, we're quick to answer it. And that's just started getting, luckily Melissa's teaching me how to do fun, giveaways and stuff to get people interacting. It's a little quiet in the group. So come join us there too. I do like what Candy said. Candy said she recommends dressing nicely for the demo. I wore orange just because that's kind of a VIPKid color thing. But you do want to look professional. She said have good lighting and a good background. The cheapest, nicest background. Oh, she's photography backdrop from Amazon for about $10. Yeah. Or we did mention some posters. I had posters. Let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything expensive. Again, it just needs to be educational. But again, like the posters and things are fine, but once you are hired, absolutely, Amazon backdrops, I've had those up before as well. And you don't have to wear orange in the coaching. We just tell you, hey, don't show up in your nightgown, right? You want to look professional, but you actually don't have to wear orange.
Right. That was on my VIPKid quiz the other day.
Yeah.
You have to wear orange.
Yeah.
And Candy said she heard that sometimes they will up their tier. So instead of starting, they may start you off at tier 3 or 4. I haven't heard that yet, but yes. She said you might get $7, but you might get a higher tier.
I have heard that, but I have no confirmation. And it was with an applicant that was just pushing back a lot. She was like, I have a PhD and I teach ELA for, 20 years in America. Right. And I want, I feel like I deserve more than $7, but they wouldn't up her base pay. They just started her at tier 3. Now, again, I have no confirmation of that. This is just things that I saw on social media. I guess that would be a good way to negotiate maybe a little bit of a higher rate, but everybody starts at 80 cents their first 20 classes anyway. So I don't know. I mean, they tell us as mentors and coaches, what we know is it is no longer negotiable. There's no more live interviews. Right. So it's no longer negotiable. So I would say that's the official word.
Right. So just assume it's $7 and then the 80-cent incentive. So
yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming, Melissa, and answering my my questions.
Sure.
And I'm ready to help my friend get started here. So yes, like Melissa said, application, and then you have your smart demo or recorded. If you have a referrer, maybe they can help you with that. You want to do that mock prep coaching, not just because Melissa is one of them, but I learned so much, and it really made me less nervous getting ready for the mock. Then you have your mock. You want the background check. Now, sometimes it takes days, guys, and sometimes it takes a month. We have no idea and no control over that.
No.
Then you sign your contract and open spots.
Yeah, and the background check holdup really was on our end this summer because courthouses weren't open, people weren't working and available to give records. And so, like I've said, over the last month, 6 weeks or so, I've really seen that speed up as people have gone back to work and gotten back in those government buildings. I've seen it speed up. So
excellent. All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming. Melissa, thank you again as always. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right, bye everyone.